So what if I told you this, that you're not attracting what you want, but instead you're attracting what you expect? Just think about it. Most people focus on what they desire. More money, more love, more success. But deep down, if you don't expect those things to happen, then they won't. Because what you're doing by always wishing for something, by hoping for something, is you're creating this gap between your desired reality and where you currently are. But on the other hand, if you expect certain things in your life, if you expect more love, more happiness, more growth, more money, then you're acting as if those things are already here or they're on their way. And that's a very different mindset to have. In this video, I'm going to share how your expectations create your reality, and more importantly, how to shift them so that you can start attracting what you truly want. So to get started, what exactly are expectations? Well, expectations are deeply held subconscious beliefs about what's likely to happen. And here's the key, and this is really interesting. Your brain and energy field respond more to your expectations than to your desires. It really becomes a sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. Have you ever noticed that when you expect something to go wrong, that it usually does? Well, that's because your expectations shape your behavior, and then your behavior influences the outcome. What happens is when you expect failure, then even if you don't realize it, you subconsciously act in ways that confirm it. You hesitate, you doubt yourself, and you miss opportunities. But on the other hand, if you expect success, then your actions, your body language, and your mindset align with that reality, and you naturally move toward it. So a lot of times we're acting this way with these deeply held beliefs, and we don't even realize it. We don't realize when we're empowering ourselves by expecting the best, or when we're making life harder for ourselves by expecting the worst. And we can really dive deep on this. At any given moment, your brain is filtering through just insane, vast amounts of data, but ultimately it has the responsibility to decide what to focus on, so what you will notice and what you ignore. Interestingly, here too, if you expect life to be difficult, then your brain will find and highlight evidence to back that up, evidence of struggle, evidence that yes, life is hard and it's difficult. But on the other hand, if you expect abundance, then you'll start noticing opportunities that were always there, but you just weren't tuned into them. It's like adjusting the frequency on a radio. You're deciding which frequency, which reality you want to tune into. So expectations don't just shape perception, they shape your entire experience of reality. And here's where it goes even deeper, that your expectations don't just affect your thoughts, they actually affect your entire energy field. So one area that we can see this is the law of assumption. And Neville Goddard taught that you don't attract what you want, you attract what you assume to be true. And this means that your subconscious is constantly aligning you with your dominant expectations. So again, some examples of this expectation-based manifestation. With money, if you expect money to be hard to earn, then you will always struggle financially. But if you expect money to flow naturally, easily and effortlessly, then you'll naturally find more ways to receive it. It'll just be a normal thing in your life. And then with love and relationships, same thing. If you expect relationships to fail, then you'll unconsciously sabotage them. Or on the other hand, if you expect to be loved and have amazing relationships, then you'll radiate confidence and you'll attract positive, uplifting people who treat you exactly that way. And then finally with success, if you expect to be overlooked and overshadowed, then you'll shrink yourself and you won't speak up and you'll miss out on opportunities. And here too, on the other hand, if you expect to be valued and appreciated, then you'll show up differently and people will then respond to you accordingly. So your expectations really set the tone, the energetic tone for what you experience. So if you change the expectation, you change the reality. So now the question is, well, how do we actually shift these expectations? Well, here's a very simple 3-step process. So first, you of course have to identify your current expectations. And these will very likely at times be things that go way back to childhood. Maybe just expectations that you had that you've never really thought about, you never really uncovered. So ask yourself, in whatever area of life that you're struggling, ask, what do I expect in this area of life? Have I been taught or told that money is always difficult to earn, relationships are always hard, that sort of thing? So focus on the areas where you haven't achieved what you want and ask yourself, what expectations do I have here? What assumptions do I have? And if you're unsure, just look at the patterns in your life, because those patterns reflect what you've been experiencing all along. And then the second part is we now have to rewire and reprogram the subconscious mind with these new, empowering, positive beliefs and expectations. So there are lots of ways to do this. I think I'll do a separate video on how to do this. I just did one on the ideal times to do it, to plant these seeds in your subconscious mind. But essentially, you want to create new positive and uplifting affirmations that you can go through and visualizations that essentially are the opposite of those old negative limiting beliefs that you had before. So go through and one by one, once you've identified the problem areas and those negative beliefs in each category, then create new opposite empowering beliefs for every one of those old negative ones. And then we can work to put together a plan to start reprogramming your subconscious with these new positive, uplifting expectations. And finally, we have to not only think, but feel this expectation before it can become reality. And this, I think, is where a lot of people get stuck. It's not enough to just say these new affirmations, but you have to really feel them as though they're real. So don't just visualize success, but feel and expect it to happen. And act as if. It's like you have to fake it till you make it. Adjust your body language, your speech, and your decisions to reflect that new identity. So that new empowered version of yourself, how would that version of you show up? And you want to start embodying that in your daily life. So ultimately, the big takeaway is this, that you don't attract what you want or desire, but you attract what you expect. So if you've been stuck, it could be for this reason, that it's not that you're not working hard enough or doing enough, but it's because your expectations are still aligned with that old reality. So here's my challenge to you, just for the next week, for the next 7 days, pick one area of your life where you've been struggling and just flip one expectation. Choose one expectation you're going to really focus on and go through this 3-step process. Identify it, challenge it, flip it around, and then not only visualize, but also feel it deeply. And let me know in the comments below. Just do it for 7 days, try it for 1 week, and see how your expectations and your manifestation changes. So I hope you found this video helpful, especially if you've had some issues with just not seeing the results that you want. This is one area of my life where I really struggled. I felt like, why are things just not working? Why can I not manifest? And this is one issue that I found I had to really work through, and approaching it from this angle really helped me see things more clearly. So I hope you found value in it as well. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.